Brand new week. Welcome to MX Conversations, where we have the right conversations about every single thing: innovation, technology, entrepreneurship, youth and culture, and everything that you need to know. So welcome. I hope the week has been great to you. At last, there's good news about Corona. We might be getting out of the dark, and that's something that I'll be talking about quite shortly. So let's jump right into it, and let's talk about our tech trends for the week. Now, as much as I would like to talk about technology, it looks like there were more dominating conversations on tech platforms this week than any other thing. So let's talk about those two. First off, someone lost 1.1 million followers because of one tweet, right? So former Ghanaian footballer, Michael Essien, he used to be one of the darlings of this country. He used to run like a bull in Chelsea. This was a time that the Blues were like, you couldn't touch them, right? He put out a tweet. He since deleted the tweet, and it was concerning the LGB. Right now, the letters are a lot, so let me not get myself into trouble. But Michael made a tweet, and immediately after the tweet, he lost 1.1 million followers. Now, for me, on a tech perspective, that sounds like, guys, it's like there's so much power in the hands of people now. They can easily cancel you. They can easily put you up, bring you down. And the question is, all these 1.1 million followers who unfollowed Michael Essien, why did they do that? And did they have the right to do that? Because he also is entitled to his opinion about the stuff that is going on. Apart from that, of course, all throughout the week, the entire conversation has been about how the global, push for LGBTQT rights is moving towards Africa. I think that the president has spoken, and he has said that it will not happen under his watch. I think that Christian leaders have spoken. I think that the entire country, in one way or the other, have dominated conversations on Twitter, on Instagram, on WhatsApp statuses about this particular thing, sexual orientation. Now, I know that that's not as techy as you want it to be, but that is what literally dominated every conversation on every single platform this week. So, what are your thoughts? Did Michael deserve it? Is he going to get his followers back? I mean, if I tell you how much time you're going to have to invest to get 1.1 million followers, guys, like, this is so sad. And I hope that they forgive him and they go back and follow him. To err is human, to forgive is divine. Please go and follow Essien again. I'll create like 10 accounts just to support. That is my donation to getting Michael back his followers. And with that, we take a commercial break. When I come back, SMEs, I have great news for you on today's conversation and how you're going to be able to use technology to survive this pandemic. And hopefully we'll be out of the pandemic soon. And that same information we're about to share would absolutely help you even post-pandemic. Quick commercial break. When we're back, conversations. Welcome back. I love our jingle so much. I'm always like, boogieing with it. Also because I'm super excited about this conversation. I wish somebody had this conversation earlier. So if you're a small to medium-sized business or enterprise, how are you vacillating this pandemic? This COVID-19 that nobody had rehearsals for, we were all thrown into it. We were not ready for it. But how can we make sure we come out on the other side in profit? We come out on the other side still having our business intact. And to do that, I've brought two people that I know can do justice to this. Two of them are people I personally know and I've seen their work. And I know that what they would contribute today would be fantastic if you pick some nuggets from there. So, of course, joining me from Accra, Ghana. In fact, two of my guests today are all from Accra, Ghana. Is Moses B. Arthur. He is the CEO of Lush Group LLC, about 5 companies under it. One of the most phenomenal young entrepreneurs I know. I saw his journey start, and he's really repositioned his business in this pandemic. And so, welcoming him from Accra, Ghana. Even though I'm in Accra, Ghana. Moses B. Arthur, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Kwame. I'm honored to be here.
Good to have you. Good to have you. Now, joining him is somebody that I can't introduce him enough, guys, because it's just ridiculous what he does. So he leads marketing and sales for Tonaton GH. I'm sure you know about Tonaton, so I don't need to go in there. He's also a super CEO, a super salesperson, and has earned himself the moniker Africa's greatest sales coach. Joining me again from Accra, Ghana, Daniel Sapon. Welcome to the show.
Thanks so much, my brother.
So good to see you. Whenever I see you, all I think about is money. All right, let me start with you, Arthur. Talk to me. I've seen a lot of work that has gone into repositioning your business. You are an SME yourself, and you are an SME leader. First of all, what mindset have you approached the pandemic with in terms of your business, and what has changed?
Thank you very much, Kwame, for the question. Well, the pandemic took a lot of people by surprise. Most businesses were crashing, businesses, even the multinationals were laying people off and all of that. And for me, when it started, it was a big shock. We didn't really expect it. But at a point, I had to reposition myself and then ask myself, would we keep complaining about the pandemic and then just sit there whilst people were making money? Because I observed that Financial Times released a list of a top 100 companies that were actually running into billions. So I was like, whilst we are on this part of the world complaining about the whole pandemic, people are actually making money and people are actually cashing out. So for me, I had to sit down with a team and then we had to re-strategize. Good thing is that if you've been following the trend for some time, Kwame, you're a great speaker yourself. You've been talking about how that businesses should go digital. So the good thing for us was that we were already digital. We had an online presence. We're not now going to struggle to create a website or to figure out how our socials were going to run or funneling clients and all of that. We already had a certain online presence. So we just had to now capitalize on the fact that we had to take advantage of our online presence to reach out to people, and then also not just see the pandemic as something that was actually stopping us, but something that we can also make positive returns from. Another thing that struck my mind during the COVID season was the fact that businesses had to be malleable in the sense that I observed that fintech companies like Haptel started doing deliveries.
Yes.
So that meant that they had actually decided to switch up their business model a bit to fit in with the condition at the time. And so we also had to consider some of these things. We had to now start thinking of what other services can we provide to people at that point in time that would serve the market, and then that will also make the business relevant and grow at the end of the day. So for us, it was a mindset shift for us to know that, first off, your business needed to be extremely digital and take advantage of the digital presence.
Fantastic.
And then also it was an opportunity for us to grow as a people because, you know, remote working is not that common in this part of our continent. So it was an opportunity for a lot of people to update their knowledge base on how Zoom works, how to organize Zoom conferences, Google Meets, and all of these things. So it's been great, and it's been a wonderful mindset shift for us as young people and as a business. Basically.
Fantastic. So, I mean, we even had Zoom weddings at the peak of the virus. So there's so much that changed. Now, Daniel, your business is typically an internet type of business. Tonaton is one of the leading e-commerce companies in the continent, period. I don't even want to overstate it. Now, so you play in the digital space, you play in the technology space. What was different this time with the pandemic, and what was the shift you needed to make in order to reposition both your personal business and Tonaton as a brand? And what can we learn from it as well?
All right, sure. Thank you so much, Kwame. So, one thing I would like to state is that having challenges in business is something that will never end. And if we think that this COVID has brought about a shift, we should wait for maybe the next thing that's going to happen. So one thing that every business should have, the same way cars have shock absorbers,
yes,
every business have shock absorbers.
Talk to me.
And always prepare for challenges that would always come.
Yeah.
I've been saying this for a very long time, and I think a lot of businesses and people thought I was just going crazy. But I was always saying that the future is digital.
Yeah.
Like this world is going digital. And if you don't adapt yourself to the digital space and to the digital changes and systems, you end up spending a lot of money to catch up.
Yeah.
Or you spend a lot of time to catch up with people who have already adapted.
Absolutely.
For us, it wasn't too terrible because we're already an online business.
Yeah.
So when the pandemic started and we had a bit of lockdown in Ghana, we saw a surge in traffic of people coming to the site to buy from the site. We saw a lot of people posting a lot of things that they have. You know, we are a classified site. So if you want to sell something, I mean, you post it there and people looking for it will come call you and then you do business with them. So now you are home in lockdown. You are trying to sell your house or maybe you're trying to sell your car. There's no way you can go out to do that.
Yes.
So we saw a surge in traffic in people coming to our site to do transactions. And just as my brother, Moses B. Arthur said, you have to be malleable as a business. Previously, we didn't have an essentials category for sale. I mean, for people to do business with. Yeah. But we introduced that on the Tonaton site so that people, businesses that are closed who sell essentials can do transactions with Ghanaians who need such services. So what we also learned was that a lot of people were actually not ready for digital.
Absolutely.
Some people had no idea how to do transactions online. Yeah. Some people had no idea how to do business. To even buy anything online. So we realized that was also a good turning curve. I mean, for a lot of people as well. I think COVID pushed the world about 5 years ahead.
Absolutely.
5 years ahead.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And for me as a person, how this impacted me is it made me understand more of what I've been saying all these years.
Yes.
And has made me even strengthen further my personal ambitions and my personal systems and operations to take advantage of the global market when it comes to sales trainings and quotients.
So I want to hold that thought because we're going to go straight into that. And for me, the question that I want both of you to really take maybe 3-4 minutes and hone in deep, and I'll start with you, Arthur, is how do SMEs utilize the kind of mindset you have, the kind of tools that you guys have access to? So please provide some of the tools. What should SMEs do to be able to utilize technology to survive and thrive in the pandemic and even post the pandemic? What are the tools? What are the laws? What are the 3 laws you give any SME? Say, oh, please do this and that and that. I want people to get practical things that immediately they get off this show, they can apply to their business and see a change. So let me start with you, Arthur. How do I thrive using technology as an SME in this pandemic?
Right. Thank you so much, Kwame, once again for the question. So it's a very interesting and deep question. I would start off by saying that entrepreneurship it's a very bittersweet journey, and it's a very, very bittersweet journey. There are days where you smile because the business is doing well, everything is going fine. There are days where you cry, like most businesses were crying during the pandemic. People were laying people off and all of that. But then driving the conversation into technology and all of that, I'm personally committed to, I always say that I have a vow that's committed to lifelong learning. And which is very different from education as we have it.
Know it.
And people, entrepreneurs and people that run businesses will need to understand that if they want to thrive and keep scaling their business from one level to the other, then they would have to be very knowledgeable, very, very, very knowledgeable. I can't stress this enough. You would have to be extremely knowledgeable. There's a popular saying I say that what you don't know is darker than the night. So businesses who didn't have understanding into how to run their digitals, the businesses that didn't have understanding on how their websites operate and all of that, were facing a lot of challenges and difficulties. So for me, the Kickstarter is, if you want to survive as an SME in this current generation as we have it, not just because of coronavirus, but then even from moving forward, then you would have to make sure that you are one that is hungry for knowledge. For instance, Instagram is constantly updating the algorithm.
Yeah.
How consistent are you with understanding how
the changes
the algorithm
are
works?
happening? Yeah.
I had somebody who started a business telling me that he wanted to pay somebody over 500 CDs for the person to do reels for him. I'm like, you don't need to pay anybody 500
to do reels
CDs
for you.
To do you just have to go on YouTube and then study on how to make reels and then just get going. And I want to talk to every entrepreneur listening to me out there that make sure that by the time this whole pandemic is over, if you've not learned anything, make sure you are a proud graduate from the University of YouTube. Make sure you are holding some PhD in whatever field you are, because there's lots of knowledge out there that you can harness from the internet.
Yeah.
So you want to take time off and then study a lot about how the socials work, how do you migrate this, how do you schedule posts, because sometimes you may be so busy that you may not be able to post on time, but then there's an app that can do that for you. There's a buffer that can schedule posts for you on your Facebook, your Instagram, your Twitter. And these are things that we need to pay attention to.
And gain the knowledge.
You don't have to go and pay. Exactly. Gain knowledge. It's very, very, very important.
So for me, this is so key.
Pardon?
This is so key what you're saying, because what we've also learned, even different from the pandemic, is in business, the only constant is change. And so what can hurt you is previous knowledge of how things used to work. Now, our time is pulling up really quick on us. So let me take one from Daniel as well. Daniel, give them a law or give them something that they should really, really, push themselves to in terms of using technology to survive this pandemic and even beyond the pandemic, and then we can bring this conversation to a close. So, Daniel, let me hear from you.
All right, sure. So I'm glad my brother has talked about knowledge, and we've also talked about digital. So I'll talk about the sales part.
Yeah.
That understands that value means different things to different people.
Talk to me.
So whatever you are selling or whatever product you have, you first have to understand the kind of help you are giving.
Yeah.
Because Kwame, if I have ice in the Himalayas and I have ice in the desert, it's the same ice, but the value has just increased just by positioning.
Yeah.
So don't just have a product and then try to sell.
Yes.
Understand first, who are you selling to?
Do
they really need it?
Yeah.
And if they really need it, how will I position it for them so that it means value for them? So if you are selling for the same product, so for example, corporate people and students, you can't use the same message.
You can't use the same language.
So all I'll tell them is, you can't use the same message. So all I would say is that value means different things to different people. Find the people who really need it and then deliver to them exactly what they want. Because you're not doing business for yourself, you're doing business for them. So find what they want and give them what they want.
Yo, guys, look, we need to turn this into a masterclass. This is what these guys do for a living. So make sure you're well updated, your knowledge base is always strong, and understand that value means different things to different people. I'll have to bring you guys back for a part 2 because I know there's so much we want to talk about. I know what is inside of both of you. Thank you so much for making the time and delivering these nuggets to our people. Value means different things to different people, and knowledge, what you don't know, is darker than the night, and I don't think you want to be in the night. Guys, thank you so much for coming, and I hope that this conversation has been great to you as an SME. Apply it. Look at their socials on the screen. Go follow them. Go to their DM. Ask them how they can give you more of this. And that would help transform. Of course, when you're going to them and getting it, you're getting knowledge. That's what Mr. Arthur spoke about. So you don't want to miss that. When I come back, we'll be wrapping this up with some motivational video, something to jiggle you up for the week so that you don't give up and you go out there and achieve your best. Quick commercial break. When I'm back, MX Conversations right here on MX24. Welcome back from that commercial break. I always hate it when I have to go because I enjoy these conversations so much, and I cannot wait to be back same time next week with some amazing conversations. Don't forget, if there's something specific you want us to talk about that will bring value to you, you can drop it on our social media whenever we stream any of these shows, and we'll pick it up and get the right people from all over the world to come and talk about it for you so you can grab some value, because that's all we want to be able to do for you on this show. Across social media, of course, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, at MX24GH. You can always be a part of these conversations. And with that, I'm going to leave you with a motivational video of the week. Go out there, do something inspiring, and regardless and irrespective of how you feel, let this video speak to you so you understand that the world needs you, we need your talent, we need your skill, and you cannot afford to give up yet. Enjoy the video and enjoy the rest of the week. Shalom. Cheers, guys.
The challenges that you face, they're going to do their best to take you down. Do not let them. Stand up, dig in, line up those problems and confront them, face them, fight them. Do not let them bring you down. In fact, let those challenges raise you up. Let them elevate you. Let their demands and their trials make you stronger. Let the adversity you face today turn you into a better person tomorrow.
What they don't understand is that even when you are expecting something good to happen, it costs you something. And when you keep wanting something that keeps evading you, if you're not careful, it will wear you down. To wait for something, anticipating it, and it doesn't happen, costs you more than somebody who wants nothing. That's why we have so many people who fall into the abyss of wanting absolutely nothing, because sometimes it is easier not to want anything than it is to want it and not get it. Some people find it easier to just give up and lay dead and just let things happen the way they happen. They are perpetually and inevitably victims of circumstances. They've allowed themselves to be typecast into a perpetual role of nothingness. I may not have it, but I want it. I may not be there, but I want to. It may not be in my hand, but I'm snatching after it. I may not have apprehended, but I'm in the press. I may not climb the mountain, but I'll die with dirt in between my fingernails, because I will never lay there and accept where I came from to be where I'm going.
I will break you before you break me. You will not defeat me. You will not destroy me. Some of you are so ignorant. You've been through so much hell. You gonna quit now? You should have quit 10 years ago. You should have quit 10 years ago when he walked out on you. You should have been quit. You don't quit now. It's the 10th round. You got 2 more to go. And when you get to success, it's not about skills. It's about stamina.